Tonight, a Waverly police officer has been laid to rest after passing away from complications of COVID-19. You might remember Officer Greg Triplett was the only officer on duty when Waverly started flooding last month. We found out he died this past Sunday. News 4's Cameron Taylor is live in Waverly tonight. Cameron, today was all about celebrating his life.
Yeah, that's right, Lauren, and that's what his family wanted for today. Officer Greg Triplett was in law enforcement for more than 30 years, and I can tell you from being at today's service, he was very loved.
Daddy loved this community. He loved our family, and he loved his police officer family. He loved you guys.
A room filled with those impacted by Officer Greg Triplett. Family, friends, first responders, and people in the community.
And I want people to leave here celebrating his life. We're gonna grieve. We all have our own way of it, and that's part of it. But today we're going to celebrate his life and his legacy.
His daughter, Mary Beth Frazier, says that legacy was being a good person, a good police officer, and helping any way he could. Triplett's friends in law enforcement shared some lighthearted moments.
He could literally write you a ticket, maybe even arrest you, and people were shaking his hand, and he was seeing them the next day because he was a good guy. He was fair.
Greg loved a good prank, and so did I.
Waverly Police Chief Grant Gillespie was one of the speakers at the celebration of life. He wanted to get this message across.
That Greg was what you want in a police officer. He was what you want in a man, a good Christian man, a good solid man. And it's going to be hard to fill those shoes.
Chief Gillespie says he's treating this as a line of duty death. That's because he says Triplett likely contracted COVID while he was working. His service came with full honors.
You know, I'm proud to have been his friend and to have seen that. He loves y'all. He loved these men and women over here, and he loved this community, and he loved God.
Before laying Triplett to rest, a procession went through Waverly, going by the police department one more time. For his family and friends, it's a special moment.
I always knew Daddy was my hero, and it has blessed my heart to see that he has been such a hero to so many other people.
Everyone in this room is better off today for having known Greg Triplett.
And Cameron, you just spoke with Officer Triplett a month ago when Waverly flooded. This was not the follow-up anybody was really expecting.
Yeah, not at all, Lauren. This was very shocking. You have to keep in mind, Officer Triplett lost his house and all of his belongings. And you have to remember, too, that there were some tense moments where he thought his family members may have been in trouble when the flooding started happening here in Waverly. Combine all of that in the last month, and then this happens. And I can tell you from visiting this community, being here in this community for several weeks now, coming by here each week, that this community will continue to support his family any way they can. Live in Waverly, Cameron Taylor, News 4 Nashville.